Hey guys, this is VA3EWV on the drive-in. That's what I'm going to start calling on the drive-in, on the air with VA3EWV on the drive home. And there's some real QRP going on. Let me say that one more time. Some real disturbance going on VE2CRA, let me tell you. And these guys are losing their minds. So I'm going to turn the volume up. We're going to sit here and use the popcorn and listen to it. Come on. Here we go.
Yeah, this one's got a 396 4-barrel. And anyway, into Ford 340.
So some guy was, hey Bob, there's some real QRP going on. Some guy was trying to test his echo link, and these guys are telling him to get the hell off the frequency and everything else. It was brutal. Anyway, let's see what's going on out here. How you doing, Bob? Hey, see if you can get on VE2CRA. They got the popcorn popping here tonight. God dang it. I have to get over here and turn.
Yeah, pretty nice cars, man.
I have to navigate through this downtown Ottawa traffic here.
Turn left.
They were under different names. But they were all GMs, right?
By the way, Bob, I got somebody on national calling frequency yesterday here in Ottawa. I actually, as a matter of fact, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that now and see what happens. Actually, let me move over to that right now.
Body work, but you got to finish off the body work.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, Devin. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3EWV, testing the national calling frequency, standing by. See if I can get anybody on there. Hey, Devin, good news. My All-Star Link and Echo Link node is getting shipped as we speak. The guys got it all set up.
Red light camera recorded ahead. That is a photo shoot you don't want to pose for.
VA3 Oscar Tango Whiskey. This is VA3WV. Good to hear you in there again. How you doing today?
In half a mile, turn left.
Well, good evening to you, and yes, glad to hear you again, and hope all is well. And yeah, last night was a bit on the wet side. It was raining or snowing. I don't think Mother Nature was able to determine which, but at least now a little bit on the drier side. How about yourself? How have you been since yesterday? How was the first day?
Well, the first day was great. The drive home was a little nerve-wracking. It was freezing rain going into Cornwall there. And then once I turned on the treacherous 138, I just got off the radio altogether, because that's, you know, you need to have all your, you know, everything looking at the road there. I've lived on that road for 2 years, and there has been 3 fatalities, and right in front of my house, I have on camera a car rolling over, on camera right in front of my house there, losing control. So yeah, everything was good. The drive in tonight's going to be even better. And I was just telling my friends who are on the web there that I finally got to use the national calling frequency last night. So that was pretty exciting to me. And I do have the other thing programmed in, 146580. I just wanted to let you know that, because you know we were talking last night about not being able to change things on the fly, right, when you're driving. But I got everything all programmed and I'm ready to go.
Okay, very good. Well, I guess one thing to note, the FM simplex frequencies only range from 146,400 to 146,595. So I'm not sure about the 800 business, but the allocation is 400 to 595. So there you go. But regardless, yeah, it's great to hear from you again, and that's fantastic that the first day went well. Sounds like everything went good, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the radio, and that's fantastic. And
Thanks, Ray.
As soon as I get some cards here for VE3 land, I'll send them via the bureau, and one of them will have your name on it. So that's absolutely fantastic, and great to hear you on the air, and new job and new hand. It must be an exciting time.
Oh, it is. And I just want to make a correction on that. It's 146580. So not 800. So I just went up, what do you call that, 60 60 hertz, I guess. I think it is.
1.1 miles. Turn left.
Yeah, I just wanted to correct
and
it. So it's just
keep left.
146,580. So I just need to go up just 60 hertz there, and I'm still within the range there. Over.
Okay, QSL. Well, not that many. Well, there are people who use that frequency, but not that many. So we'll have a plan B just in case someone needs to use the frequency. But it's all good. Glad to hear you on there. And yes, as I said, the weather was quite nasty yesterday. So hopefully you made it back home yesterday before all the bad weather started. But at least now it's a little bit on the drier side, as mentioned.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, when I got home last night, I was pretty, I wasn't tired, but I was excited to tell the XYL about today and the day and stuff like that. And I usually attend this net on Tuesdays called the Raccoon Net. That's in Iroquois. But since I was on the radio an hour coming into work and an hour going back home, and I was gone for the first time for like almost 10 hours, I was kind of afraid to go to the shack last night and spend another hour on the radio after not being home that long. Over.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm usually on that net on Tuesday nights. I had dinner plans yesterday, so I was not able to make it. But yes, I'm usually on the Raccoon Net there.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'll keep my ears open for you if I hear you on there. But yeah, Dave and those guys, they're quite the regulars there. So and I usually check in there pretty often. So I'll keep that in mind. But it's great that you're getting involved in the nets and all those things as well too. So that's fantastic. Another net that happens around there is, I guess around your neck of the woods, you might be able to get in there. The Russell repeater, KA2GXI, they have a net around 6 o'clock, the QNet. That might be of interest to you as well too. But there's a lot of repeaters in upstate New York as well too that have fantastic coverage.
Oh yeah, QSL. Yes, I started going to the Raccoon Net about 3 or 4 weeks ago, because a couple of guys, like Don, I forget Don's call sign off the top of my head, but Don is a member of the Seaway Valley Amateur Radio Club as well. There's a couple of people that belong to both clubs, eh? So when I went to my first, like I said, I'm a brand new ham, but when I went to my very first ham, what do you call it? Ham festival? It was at the Iroquois place there, eh? And then I got to go to the Carp Festival. So I've been to 2 so far. The Carp was the biggest one. But yeah, I met those guys, started talking on there, and I can hit that repeater for sure. I can hit the Russell repeater. On some nights, I can even hit the Brockville repeater. And I can also get into the Kempville repeater from my place too. So that's pretty cool. I'm going on and on here, but I'm just excited. I've hit the Potsdam repeater quite often, the Malone repeater, the Covey Hill, just to name a few. I have all those programmed in, over.
Oh well, very good. Well, that's fantastic news. Kempville has a UHF repeater. I think it's in Dave's backyard, but the coverage isn't the best. I believe they're building a 2-meter repeater as well too, so that's great. But Winchester also has a great repeater, which you may have been referring to, but Kempville, I believe the 2-meter is still in the works. If you're getting that type of coverage, I would also recommend the repeater on Whiteface Mountain. They have weather nets every morning at 7:30, and I believe they have nets in the evening as well too. So that could be of consideration too. But that repeater, it's right on top of Whiteface Mountain, so it goes all over the place. So if you can get into Potsdam, you could probably get into the Whiteface Mountain machine.
Yeah, QSL, VA3EWV for station ID as well. So yeah, W2RYB, I think that's
in 1 mile.
For 3 months, I tried to get into that repeater because I was hearing that morning net and that evening net for the weather net. And I love how they run that net too, because they make you say, this is, then you have to pause, and then you come back in and you come back, you do your thing. And I was trying to get our folks to do that at Seaway Valley Amateur Radio Club, because it keeps people from walking over people. They really have a really well-run net. So on our repeater page on svrc.ca, if you go there, that repeater's there at W2RYB, and they have the tone as 123. When in fact, after a lot of, I thought they were ignoring me. So after a lot of trial and error, I found out that they have 3 repeaters on that one. One is a tone of 70, and for the weather net, it's actually a tone of 100. So I was able to start logging in for the first time last week. So I have been on it for about 4 different occasions, yeah. So I can definitely hit that one too. Over.
Victor Echo 3, Oscar Tango Whiskey returning.
Right.
Well, that's fantastic. That is good to hear. And yes, the tone is 100. I remember the first time I went on that net, I was corrected by the net controller. I was getting in, but not quite. So yeah, you are absolutely correct. It is a 100 hertz tone. But that's great that you can get in there. Yeah, Brockville, that has a big footprint as well too, and the Iroquois machine, and yeah, it sounds like you get into all the machines in the area. Another one too is by that area. Would be what would it be? The repeater on top of Mount Rigaud. That has big coverage as well too, and I know sometimes people in upstate New York and Vermont can get into that machine if the conditions are good. So the Mount Rigaud machine would be probably another good one too. But it sounds like you have most of your bases covered there.
Yeah, the repeater list sheet that we had. On the Seaway Valley Amateur Radio Club page, it has 23 repeaters on it, right? And I can hit all the repeaters except for 2. So that's not bad. And I can also hit, I think Mount Rigaud has a 220 repeater, if I'm not mistaken, because I have 220 frequencies programmed to this radio, and I can talk in both of those. Not a lot of people are on 220, by the way, but I still try to use it and key up on it at least, once, every other day, just to make sure it's being used at least, Over?
Well, very good, very good. Well, if you have a 220 radio, I believe the repeater on top of the Hall Hospital here, that's run by the RAO Club, I believe that has 220 capabilities. So if you want to test it out, so that could be an option. But that being said, all the repeaters are linked anyways on that side. So the 2-meter, 220, 440, they're all connected together. So it's not a big of a deal if you don't have a radio for 220. But if you want to try it out,
I'm not.
So the only one in the area here would be probably the one on top of the hospital and home.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. So besides that, I got more exciting news because before all this stuff, like I said yesterday, since I only have my basic, and I am starting to get my basic with honors, by the way. I'm still trying to do the practice test, but I started using DMR, and I was able to actually get in on the Ottawa DMR repeaters, not from home, but while I was here in Ottawa, and I tested those out a few weeks back. So I got all that programmed into my Anytone radio there. That's what I have, an Anytone mobile. So I got all the Brandmeister talk groups programmed in, so I can do it while I'm in Cornwall, Gatineau, and Ottawa so far. So that's pretty good. And the only other great present I just got, I'll call it an early Christmas present. Our repeater at home, VA3EWV, was our only Echolink All-Star IRLP repeater. It was down for a lot of reasons, and then they suspended that service. They had some hardware problems, but they also suspended the service. So I went doing some research and found a guy in London, Ontario, and he built me an all-star Echolink node box, got it all set up and tested and everything like that. It's being shipped today. I should have it tomorrow. We're going to get on Facebook after work tomorrow, share the screen. He's going to show me all the, I forget what that thing runs on, Raspberry Pi or something like that, Unix or whatever. And I should be up and running and being able to hit on All-Star, the All-Star nodes and the Echolink nodes. So that's pretty exciting to me.
VA3EWV, VA3EWV. Yes, well, that's great. Yeah, there are a few DMR repeaters in there. The plan was to put a repeater on the CRA site, but there's no that up there, so I believe there's DMR there, but it's only local traffic only. So yeah, I believe there are a few sites around town, but yeah, that's great that you were able to get in there. So that's great that it worked out. The one thing about the All-Star, you can also use a service called the Hamshack Hotline. And from there, it's connected to All-Star, so you can connect to the All-Star nodes and go through the route without setting up a node. You can just call in and call in the different repeaters around town. That's how I check into the Elmont net on Tuesday night. It's a digital net, and I just call in using the Hamshack Hotline. So that could be of interest to you there, Ernest, but it sounds like you're on the right track and everything is good. And you're starting to find out new things all the time. And the one thing I would note too is you don't have to get the honors necessarily for HF privileges. If you do pass the CW exam or the advanced exam, you can also be granted HF privileges.
Good advice for the dance floor too.
Oh, that's great to know. Well, the most important thing I wish I'd known yesterday is about the Hamshack Hotline, because the only reason I wanted to do the All-Star, since we lost it at our club, is every Thursday and every Sunday I was logging into the Trans-Canada net to listen to that net, and then we haven't had it for over a month. So, you know, I was very saddened about that, because I really like to talk on radio and listen to all the conversations. So having it down for over a month was just too much. So that's when I've been looking for that. And I wish that someone would have told me about Hamshack Hotline, if that's what it's called. And by the way, what's your name again? My name is Ernest, by the way. VA3EWV.
Yes, Ernest. Yes, I remember our QSO from yesterday. If you go to the page, Victor Echo 3, Oscar Tango with the handle here is Jonathan, by the way. I look directly to Hamshack Hotline, and it should give you stuff until once you click on the link. For all licensed amateurs, and not only can you connect via All-Star, you can talk to other people in the area. There are 2 people here in the Ottawa area that have the service, and is able to talk to one of them. And you can form a calling group as well too. It's PBX SIP radio, so it's whatever those capabilities would be on a regular, Cisco SIP system, it would be converted to this version here that they have for amateur operators. So yeah, it could be just a thought that you may be interested in. If you're getting up the card and
hazard report ahead. Keep your eye out and your ear open. Good advice for the dance floor too.
You can download on your phone. You can connect to play up with.
Thank you, Jonathan. I think we might be losing each other now. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and I'll probably hear you out there tomorrow. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, wishing you a great day there, and have a safe one. I'm going to go right over to VE2CRA now, and hopefully I might hear you there. Anyway, VA3EWV clear, and have a good evening if I don't hear you. Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey, VA3EWV, we're going to be clear. And we'll QSY over to VE2CR8. What? Uh-oh.
I think these blocks and pins and stuff don't
Hey
line
Hunter,
up, they don't
how's it going? Hunter, I was just having the QSO on national calling frequency there with, I forget his handle. But then I lost him. I don't know where I'm at now, but from Ottawa to, there's a sign coming up. It's very foggy though. Let me see. Boundary Road, Russell. So I was able to talk to him, Hunter, from Ottawa there to the Boundary Road, Russell. I also told him that I had 146.580 in there, you know, since it's not a Rag 2 channel, but we managed to get on that. Now back on VE2CRA, there's lots of traffic out there tonight.
VE3XIU in the evening shoe.
Oh, they have an evening shoe. Oh, I love it. Woo! Got my All-Star node coming in tomorrow too, my EchoLink node. That's going to be awesome.
RLG in the Metropolis, Mexico.
Okay, they have an evening shoe.
I'm in the Metropolis, the agricultural opolis of North Stormont. Go ahead.
This is sweet.
Hey, Ron. I did some upgrades to my wire antenna. Can you see if you can hear me on 40? Well, what are you hearing now? Are you hearing Victor Echoes and Alphas? I don't even have it on. What you should do is find the net down below, Beyond Terror's net, 7100, and then come up a bit, and then find the spot for us to talk, and send me a PM, tell me what frequency, you know, meet you there.
What's the one so dark? My two lights don't shine any light on me back here. I'm gonna have to add a light up here or something.
My radio was broken. I forgot I had an external speaker hooked up to it, and I had no sound. I'm like, what? What's going on? I think the net is over now.
Oh, there's
Ron, you gotta see Sean's new rig, man. Holy crap. And it's an FT710 Foxtrot Tango 710. You gotta check this out, man.
looks like they're having a great time.
It's new. Just put it in the goddamn Google and look it up.
Oh my God, these guys are swearing on their net. They had some, hey Shay, what's going on, Narrow? What's going on, Narrow? Your uncle's driving home from work there on the highway. You can't see me because, well, you can see me now. But, how you doing this evening, Shay?
Just checking.
I need to get you studying on your ham license there, Shay. You hear these guys cutting up in the background. Here we go. I'm gonna see if I can pop in and talk to them.
No, man, I'm serious, man. You gotta check this one out. 179. All right, send a picture of it. Send a picture of it, Sean. No, you need to Google it. It's easier for you to Google it than other people have to send you a picture, Ronnie.
I don't know if I can talk to these guys.
Voila.
They're pretty, I don't know if I could talk to these guys. They sound pretty arrogant out there. They're cutting up, they're swearing and all that stuff like that. I've never heard such nonsense on this before. Let me tune back in there and turn the volume up.
Right, take a frequency there, Sean. Take a frequency. Got the display on the picture I sent you just above it on the message before.
This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3EWV Ernest in the mobile, heading toward Cornwall. Did I hear that there was an evening net? Over?
Hey, Ernest, VA3JPX, Jameson, Canada. Good evening, Ernest. No, there's no net. We're just horsing around. Over to you.
James, good evening to you. Yeah, okay, you guys were horsing around. When I came on there earlier, it looks like there was some issues going on with somebody in Echolink. I'd never heard such horsing around before, you know. But it's good to hear you in there. I did find a job in Ottawa now, so I'll be doing a daily commute to and fro. Right now I'm doing 8 to 4, so I get on in the morning and talk in and on the way home. Let me put it back over to you guys. You seem to be having a lot of fun. This is VA3EWV standing by.
Yeah, we have a couple of clowns on board here, Ernest, this evening. Yeah, that Echolink station is deliberately being a pain in the ass. Just, you know, ignore that one. Yeah, you and I talked last week, and you said you got
hazard reported ahead.
Some work in Downtown Ottawa, so that's
good
really
advice
cool.
for the dance
Thank you
floor,
for sharing that. You know, gaining employment is awesome, and I'm glad that you got that, Ernest. That's pretty cool. So, are you on your way back to St. Andrews, or are you on the way? What's going on there, Ernest? Back to you, VA3JPX.
Yes, VA3JPX, VA3EWV returning, yes. I'm heading to St. Andrews now, and just to let you know, I've been able to get into this repeater from my front door every day, and on the way home, I've been able to talk from door to door on this repeater. I guess I'm in a good spot, but I can hit it from door to door, over. And I just passed Russell a few minutes ago. I don't know where I'm at now, but no, I'm coming up on Ingram right now. But I'll be able to talk to you guys all the way to my front door there in St. Andrews.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Ernest. We have a clown here who likes to play recordings of another ham. I don't know why they do that. Can't understand it half the time anyway, but pretty cool. Well, you're sounding great, Ernest. You know, you're doing great. So whatever you have for a mobile setup, it works. And I'm still trying to find a way to get into your neck of the woods via Yaesu System Fusion. So, and my hotspot, I will admit I haven't researched it enough. I got so much stuff going on here that I just, it's on my to-do list, and I just haven't really gotten to it. But I'd like to be able to do that so that you don't have to, you know, get in to CRA in order to talk to me. So hopefully we'll figure that out next month or two, or even sooner. VA3 Echo Whiskey Victor, VA3 Juliet Pines Red.
Yeah, VA3EWV returning, yes. We actually have four fusion repeaters in our club. We have 8 repeaters altogether, but we do have 4 fusion repeaters, a DMR repeater, APRX repeater. We did have a D-Star, but we don't anymore. But I'm actually looking at Calypso right now, by the way. But anyway, yes, I will definitely get that to you. I have your call sign, so if your email is there, I'll just send it to you. Or you can just, I know you were saying to somebody else earlier to Google it, but if you go to svarc.ca, go to the repeater page there, and it lists all the repeaters, and it'll show you the C4FM Fusion repeaters. Over.
Yeah, okay, no problem, Ernest. Yeah, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and I was trying to find a way to get to you via Wires X or System Fusion in your neck of the woods, and the problem is that I don't know what talk groups or rooms your local C4FM repeaters are connected to. So I have no way to reach you, so I don't know. And that's why I asked you a couple of weeks ago if you could perhaps some of your acquaintances in that area and let me know, you know, where to connect, because right now I don't know. So everybody understands that C4FM and Yeezus System Fusion is one thing. That's just a mode, but there's something else called a backbone, and that backbone can be Wires X, or it can be YSF. Okay, so there's rooms there as well, or quote-unquote talk groups. So what I need to know is where do I connect on any of those repeaters so you and I can you know, carry on. Back to you.
Yes, thank you for that. So yes, in the last month or so, I have learned more about that because of our main, well, not main repeater, but the repeater I use a lot, which was VA3PGC. I used it for Echolink and AllStarNet, and it had some issues, and they were saying they were going to hold off on bringing the Echolink and AllStarNet back. But anyway, long story short, I do know what you're talking about now. I did not know, you know, a few weeks or months back, as you know, I'm a brand new ham there, but now I know, because on the Brandmeister network, or DMR, we do have, I know that information. So we're a local 9 talk group, no, local 9 slot 2. So for C4FM Fusion, I will have that information for you next time. So now I understand what you're talking about. You know, every day you're on the radio, you learn something new, so I know more about that now. Also, I'm excited to let you know that I will be getting my own hotspot for C4FM Fusion, because I don't have a radio that has that. But I did find a guy that's actually in our club that sells these hotspots for your home, and it'll do C4FM Fusion, DMR, D-Star, and a couple other things. And I already have my All-Star and Echolink node heading in tomorrow, so I'll be pretty set up. And both of those people are setting it up so I can have it in the car and connect it to my phone through my phone. So that's going to be awesome. I have a little mobile digital station going on. Back over to you, VA3EWV.
Well, sounds good, Ernest. Yeah, it'll be all right.
I'm here. I'm just on my light on.
Hotspots is you'll either do one mode or another. You can't do both at the same time unless you connect to what is known as an XLX reflector. And there's very few around, and those reflectors will carry many different modes. It'll marry B25, so forth.
Hey Shay, if you hear me out there, I see you on there. If you hear me, put a hello in the comment there. I see your name there, but I don't know if you're still there. I see a person watching, but I don't know who's watching. There have been so many people that logged in there.
You gotta connect using one mode to another mode of similar fashion. That's just the way it is. The most difficult mode actually is D-Star, because there's only one hotspot that I know of. Let me recycle here. Hang on. So the only hotspot that I know that can marry D-Star to other modes, okay, is an open spot. And the latest is called Open Spot 4. And Open Spot 4, even the Open Spot 3 is, even the Open Spot 3 is really expensive. So, you know, to get on board with that, it'll cost $300, $400, $500 Canadian. But having said that, the Open Spot is, I think, one of the best hotspots out there. They can take D-Star and route it to any other protocol. Whereas if you use PyStar as an example, great, cheaper for sure, free for the most part, and you can, you know, hook it up and use one of those XLX reflectors, expect you.
Just gonna pause. I thought I heard somebody trying to come in there earlier. Anybody else out there? I'll just pause in case anybody else wants to have a chat.
Yeah, congratulations. And VA3EWV, has it been on HF yet?
No, unfortunately, I just have my basic. I don't have basic with honors or advanced. That's why I've been using DMR, Echolink, stuff like that, and local repeaters. And I've been talking a lot. I've probably put in about anywhere from 3 to 5 hours of talk time in a day on repeaters and Echolink and stuff like that. Because I'm a big talker, as you probably have figured it out. But I've been studying. It took me seven opportunities. You know, I had to take my test 7 times. Almost gave up. But the late Art VE, I forget his call sign. But he said to me, if you pass your test, I'll gift you a radio. And at the time, I had no equipment at all. And after the 6th try, I was going to give up. I called his wife the morning of the 7th try and said, well, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't, you know. And I wound up passing with a 73. And I've been talking ever since. But anyway, back over to you. No, I have not talked on HF yet.
Roger that. Are you from Ottawa?
Yes, I was. I lived in Ottawa for about 12 years, and just after COVID, we bought a house out in St. Andrews with some land because I wanted to get back into radio. That's why I wanted a spot that I could put up antennas and towers and all that stuff. And yeah, so I was in Ottawa there in